Roger,
our Johnny,
our Frank, our Malcolm, our David, our Jason, our Ronnie, our Michael, our Peter, our Tony, our Harry.
Say our mams, but we all got murdered in our cots and prams.
Oh, sir, it's Christmas!
No, it isn't yet. We're going to have that maths test I promised you I'd set. Make way for ranting Herod. Make way for ranting Herod, the Antichrist kid king, who cringes every Christmas when the Noels start to ring. Make way for me, King Herod, your inner Mr. Hyde, who'd rid himself of Jesus by unleashing genocide. Searching for that Christ kid through all Leeds, cots and prams, leaving blood-stained bundles to be blubbed at by their mams. I want to do more work on parallelograms, and tonight, for homework, you'll revise trapeziums.
Sir, it's Christmas.
Homework, crumbs.
I have to help my man to hang the holly.
Have to help your mother hang the holly. Try to find some H's on your Christmas tree. Ask Santa to leave some in the toe end of your stocking. Okay, Dr. Jekyll, that's enough of being jolly. Time for shaking scepter and shouting something shocking. Give me room to rant and rage and leave the rest to me. Make way for horrid Herod, your inner Mr. Hyde, who's been revving up all morning, hatching homicide. The homicide I'm hatching is hardly against homs. It's boy babies under 2 I'm after with me bombs. There should have been a Herod with his heavy mob in Halifax. There should have been a Herod with his heavy mob in Halifax, descending on he-children with head-cracking hatchet hacks and terminating toddlers with his lethal axe attacks. Yes, there ought to be a Herod who kinged it hereabouts. Hereabouts. There should have been a Herod who kinged it hereabouts, clobbering the kids before they grew up lazy louts. Yes, there ought to be a Herod now in Hunslet or in Hull. In Hunslet or in Hull. In Hunslet or in Hull, yes, there ought to be a Herod in Hunslet or in Hull, hammering kids' heads until the morgue slabs are all full. Yes, there ought to be a Herod alive and well and here. Here, there ought to be a Herod alive and well and here, in full infanticidal flow, in full kill all kids career. Before they grow up squirting aerosols, graffitiing our garages, rip open the upholstery on cup excursion carriages, and end up with some lass like these in monstrous fertile marriages. Before they grow up to squirt aerosols and start to spray the few words they can spell right or United rules okay, then get some fertile female in the family way. Best batter 'em while they're still brats, yes, batter 'em before they come and squirt 4-letter words all over your front door. Before they start percussion bands with your street's dustbin lids. Before they bump on purpose into supermarket soup can pyramids. Then still kids themselves start producing their own kids. Wives traipsing for their ciggies, still in their curling pins. Starting boozing first on baby shams, then graduate to gins. Slopping in worn slippers, fringed with orange nylon fur, shopping for their babies.
Gold, frankincense and myrrh, shopping for their babies. Gold, frankincense and myrrh.
Stop Stop that murmuring! I see her in the future, a shapeless, shambling cow, with kids I'll end up teaching 20 years from now. When happiness is crappy nappies lurching round a laundromat, and a belly bulging big again with one more bawling brat. And in Herod's world of weeping women, the last thing we need is that.
Sir, my mum says babes are old, Bonnie. And my auntie, sir, says every babe's worth gold, frankincense and myrrh.
Gold, frankincense and myrrh, every babe's worth gold, frankincense and myrrh.
Stop that bloody murmuring! And now I am a Herod in my proper Herod gear. I'll kick off my campaign by clouting that lad's ear. Let every so-called innocent be designated X, and let this ruler be the axe that swipes off their sweet necks. And now I am a Herod, a true blue Herodes Rex, a Rex whose every little word's interpreted as Lex. Now, your first maths assignment is the measuring of necks. Calculate the necessary length of noose if the gibbet in Judea has a 6-foot hypotenuse. If a gallows set in Galilee is 0.95 metres high and a toddler 30 centimetres takes 0.31 secs to die, how long a length of rope does Herod's hangman have to buy? Now this is a hard one. How many furlongs, yards and chains would a toddler have to toddle before the prel beat out his brains?
Furlongs, yards and chains.
If 4 mph the speed at which an infant fled, and the prel pursued at 60, how soon was that kid dead? If the prel pursue their little prey on speedy roller skates, and the innocents are toddling as 2-year toddlers do, one's going at 40, the other a mere 2, calculate the seconds before they meet their fates, then tot up the tonnage of TNT to liquidate all toddlers from Tynemouth to Torquay, the whole kid population from North to Irish Sea. If I press this little ruby on my shining regal orb, Herod rules okay, okay is what my orb will daub.
Herod rules okay!
Herod rules okay.
Herod rules okay!
With my ruby-studded orb, I'll daub Herod rules okay, or eliminate that horrid kid by aerosoling X. Wherever lives a little lad, my prel, platoon should slay. For I am Herod, the regal Rex, and legal Lex.
Rex! Lex! Rex! Lex!
Go out and gut the lot, my goodly ghoulish geezers. Wherever I've squirted X might be the home of Jesus.
Reggae! X! Leggy!
Pro reggae, that's me, folks. X leggy, me too. I'm the king and the law, the to wit and to woo.
Pro! Reggae! X! Leggy!
Owners! Joe! Truth! Quattro! Quick way! 6! 17! Octo! Open! Decade! Undecade!
Geodecade!
Geodecade! Pro! Reggae! X! Leggy! P-R-E-L! Pro! Reggae! X! Leggy! P-R-E-L! Pro! Reggae! X! Leggy! P-R-E-L! When the pro is after prey, when the pill is on the pro, you'll everybody nutting on the left and right toe. Pro! Reggae! X! Leggy! P-R-E-L! What guarantees a nation will be free from unrest? It's just the elimination of our boys from the breast.
Reggae! Leggy! The men from the brown!
Our coggles concussion and zapping the prams.
Women have some still noshing their milk from their mams.
Reggae! Leggy! The men from the brown!
To stop rabble rousers and rockers up boats, we moor them with mouses and slit their wee throats.
Reggae! Leggy! The men from the brown!
Hacking, slashing, slitting bits throats.
Case of blood splashing on black leather coats.
Pro-radiate leggy, the men from the front.
I dropped some off the top for our high-rise hotel.
Bang, bang on the door, the front.
One melt fist till the jock and all the nippers now.
Bang, bang on the door, the front.
One day called a score when their baby who went well.
Bang, bang on the door, the front. Bang, bang on the door, the front. Unas, Joe,
Tres!
Quattro,
Quick, six.
Septem!
Otto!
Nove.
Decim. Undecim. Duodecim.
Well, leader of Group 1, step forward and report how many lives of little ones your platoon's cut short.
All hail Herodes Rex. We have done to death this day. CCL-IX.
The title I hereby bestow upon thee is Grandchild Eliminator, GCE. Well, leader of Group 2, step forward and report how many lives of little ones your platoon's cut short.
All hail Herodes Rex. We have done to death this day. CCC-IX.
The title I hereby bestow upon thee is Grandchild Eliminator, GCE. Well, leader of Group 3, step forward and report how many lives of little ones your platoon's cut short.
All hail. All hail. All hail Herod.
Take him to the H block, let him cool his heels, feed him preparation H and then see how he feels. H is in block, H is in bomb, feel the H's in your lungs, where the air comes from. Proles may drop their H's, but yours must never slip. H defaulters lose their fan club membership, which includes your toffee noses, but not your tongue-tied tyke, who utters eck. Instead of Heckman Wyke, Harriet!
Hunslet,
Holmfirth!
Hull,
Huddersfield!
Holman, Heckman White.
The ladder of aspiration. The more you aspire, the more your aspiration will take you higher. Those who drop their H's fall and break their necks, but those with proper aspiration end up Rex and Lex. End-to-end laid H's are a ladder to the top, so never, never let me hear your H's drop.
All hail Herod.
Now to reward you for your kills and honor your kid-killing skills. For blasting the Reds till a babe in his bed and stopping the trot stone dead in his cot and niftily netting their nippers you nab and liberally letting with slash and with stab of hatchet and sword a lot of lads' blood, I hereby award a Star of Herod Class 1. Pro-regia leggy!
Pro-regia leggy!
Well done, well done. Pro-regia leggy.
Regiate leggy.
Well done, well done. For blasting the Reds till a babe in his bed and stopping the trot stone dead in his cot and niftily netting the nippers you nab and liberally letting with slash and with stab of hatchet and sword a lot of lads' blood, I hereby award a Star of Herod Class 1. Pro-regia leggy.
Pro-regia leggy.
Well done, well done. Pro-regia leggy.
Regiate leggy.
Well done, well done. Those are the diligent, those who work well. Now let us turn to the delinquent prel. Fetch back the sacked duodecim and let's find a punishment suitable for him. What good's a ratter who catches no rats? What good's a bratter who catches no brats?
What good's a ratter?
Who catches no rats?
What good's a bratter?
Who catches no brats?
For not doing well as a member of Prel, with all those who fail, you'll weep and you'll wail, and tortured, you'll yell and howl like hell. Now, howl!
Ow!
Howl!
Ow!
Howl!
Ow!
Howl, howl, howl!
Ow! Ow! Ow!
If you don't get it right, nobody'll leave. If we have to stop all night or till Christmas bloody Eve, now howl!
Ow!
Howl!
Ow!
H is in bomb, H is in block. We're stopping here tonight till 12 the bloody clock. Howl!
Ow!
Howl!
Ow!
H is in Rachel, lamenting sons I slew, and the next dead lad's going to be you. Howl!
Ow!
Howl!
Ow!
Howl!
Ow!
Howl!
did for my lad. My lad? Your lad. Your lad did for every little lamb. And you ought to be ashamed to be his mam. It must be awful to have given birth to one of the worst monsters ever on the earth.
Some poor woman gave him birth and dandled on her knee, one of the scourges of the earth, and that poor soul were me. Somebody put him to her breast and told him ABC, in case you haven't already guessed that somebody were me.
She wishes she'd never given birth to one of the worst monsters ever on the earth.
Me and his dad, we chose his name before our lad's nativity. But when I see what he became, I wished he died in me.
The causes of all cruel wars, this unjust Judean king, don't seem so scary when their jaws know a teething ring.
A mam's heart as the sun is broke, what mother wants to dream. Her little boy will be the bloke who air-bombs Hiroshima. Your lad did for every lamb,
And I'm ashamed to be his man.
God alone knows why my baby had to die.
You can cross our lads off your list.
it's not like blooders they've missed. It's not the cruel or the chicken pox.
It's not a good case of the rose that Rex did for our sons. Herod has put him in a box, mowed down by men with guns. They won't school no more.
Michael, history's boring. Why is it such a bore?
You've only got to hear the word and everyone starts snoring.
It's just king after king, war then war then war.
First world, second world, white rose and red.
It's all boring because it's all about the dead.
Can't we do some reliving for a change instead?
Well, tell me what else can history be about?
You know.
Please don't shout! Please is the first word a king can do without.
Miss.
Aviation, yes, we could give that a try. Actually, it's me that's about to bloody fly to the loudest ever rage in any Anno Domini.
No air, miss. Air, like we have in our head. Instead of all this boring stuff about the boring dead.
The Bethlehem barber Herod employs cuts of heads as well as hair when he barbers boys. He's a boring barber with a boring skill, a boring baby's bonces with a Black & Decker drill. What other things in history can we study? Something about babies, beastly black and bloody.
Murder, miss, and weapons, and how the bomb gets bigger.
And how my finger itches on my Sten gun trigger.
Miss, can you tell us who got in his head? The stuff about the olden days could give some folk a thrill.
Herodotus, an ancient Greek, or so it's sometimes said.
Well, your ancient Greek, what's his name, makes me feel ill.
Herodotus!
Herodotus?
Who's he when he's at home?
Who the hell's he?
He, when he's at home, invented history. His name's a hard one. He's an ancient Greek. You've forgotten him already, though I mentioned him last week.
Last week's ancient history be now, though, innit, miss?
Better get your notebooks out and make a note of this. He. Her. Hero. These days of full equality, he comes in either sex. And now I am a Herod in my proper Herod gear. Let's say, historically speaking, that equality is here. In these days of freedom, the flogger and flesh render can also be a Herod of the feminine gender. If you think mass murder is monopolized by men, watch how this King Herod does it, then think again. History is herstory, girls. Now mark this well. You too might be recruited into Herod's thrall.
Lasses in our legion?
Right, bloody hell.
A lass could be a foremost and famous infant slayer, like that jealous, jilted wife, the babe murdering Medea. Who was who?
Sir! Don't be bloody balmy. This Herod isn't her.
Tomorrow's Mussolini needn't be a muscle man. A Jill can kill as jollily as Jack the Genghis Khan. So, great macho masters, just give us girls a year or two and we'll turn out our Herods. Horrider than you!
Herods, horrider.
Who's that dropping H's? I'll put you in the corridor. Those who drop their H's like those types who down their tools never had an H block in their infant schools. Oh yes, great macho masters, just wait a year or two and we'll turn out our Herods, horrider than you. Tougher than tormentor and tongue twister talker martyr. Who was who?
Sir!
Oh, all right. Sir. Tougher than tormentor and tongue twister talker martyr. Like a hero, but a she-rod, horrider and harder. Though I might wear slinky numbers, I still know how to slay. And for the massacres I'm mistress mind, I'm asking equal pay. If Herod can be feminine, I wonder if that means if Jesus is in future can be Janets, Janes, or Jeans. By my tormentor's twin set and my persecutor's pearls, does that mean my massacre must murder baby girls?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir!
And now, before I send you into town on cot attacks, I want to check what each of you have in your terror packs.
A-bomb, airgun, axe, ammonia, aerosols of acid and an anaconda, sir. Acid list, apples and an assegai.
Blackjack, belladonna, basalai. Blowpipe, boomerang, bicycle chains, and a bloodstained battles for bludgeoning brains.
Catapult, cutlass, goose missile, kosh. Carronades of cowclap, caustic squash.
Depth charge dagger, DDT. Enfields on another gun, starting with an E.
A flash full of infected farts.
Milligram's gas.
Harpoon, howitzer.
Harpoon and howitzer, and what else?
Harpoon and howitzer, miss.
Harpoon and howitzer, and...
Harpoon and howitzer, sir.
Harpoon and howitzer, and... Harpoon and howitzer and H-bomb, okay?
H-bomb, miss, begins with an A.
For saying that H-bomb begins with an A, you'll stay behind and howl while the Prel go out to play.
I also am a Herod in my proper Herod gear. I thought I'd help you punish him, King Herod, dear.
I think I can manage quite well on my own. I think how many kids I'd kill if I had a clone.
Your Herodship is great alone, but Herod's twice as gruesome when the solo slayer's cloned and turns up as a twosome. Unnus!
Duo!
Howl!
Owl!
Howl!
Your lad did for my little lamb.
But you ought to be ashamed to be his man. It must be awful to have given birth
To one of the worst monsters ever on the earth.
a nice lad and so sweet
bloody Hitler. She doesn't see Attila or that more recent Un or any kind of killer when she gazes on her son.
All swaddled in warm baby clothes, his mother's little darling. Who'd know he'd grow mustachios and end up Joseph Stalin?
From boils on bomb to H-bomb blast, I'd shield him from disaster. But how she groans and stands aghast when my boy is the blaster.
It's not their throats that are sore. It's not the boils on their backsides. They won't come to school no more. They've been killed in your Herod's kiddie side. They won't come to school no more.
It's Herod's man who mourns the most, who wails at the world's news. When she reads instruction post, the lad Herod's on the loose.
Our mom loves the baby, bad or not, even Herod was to her. Still summoned special in his cot, and worth gold, frankincense, and more.
Gold, frankincense, and more.
Stop that murmuring.
No, it isn't yet. We're going to have that test I promised you I'd set. Rodney, I'm aware it's near the birthday of God's Son, but now it's geography. Ready? Question 1.
Oh, sir, it's Christmas.
The fact that Jesus Christ was born's as relevant just now to what we're going to do as that he ended his life on a cross crowned with thorns. And that's the sort of skull cap I'd fit on most of you. Baby's bonnet should come with thorns all made of briar. Their little heads be bound with the rustiest barbed wire.
Oh, sir, it's Christmas.
The fact our Lord was born's got nothing whatever to do with our immediate task, namely these questions that I'm going to ask. So no more about Christmas and no more about thorns.
Thorns gives Leeds the lead in toffees.
All right, hello. I might have known. How come it's always you? Well, that earns you 10,000 lines. Okay, right, 10,000 times Christ is born today.
Nice.
It'll take you into Christmas before you're done. That might teach you to blaspheme against God's Son. Right. Geography. Question 1. The River Mississippi. Name its source.
The source that takes the name of Leeds to the ends of the earth.
20,000 lines. Is that understood? I don't want any mockery about our Lord who gave his blood. Well, I wish he'd gone and given it 30 years before, instead of 3 decades spent flouting king and law. Whatever devil that you are, you won't take over me. I'm a Christian. I'm a pacifist. I belong to CND. I don't know why you bother. You do better with the bomb. Right. Where does the Mississippi start flowing from?
When we pray at dinner, sir, what's the language that you speak? Sounds that funny, sir. I bet it's ancient Greek.
I know it's just my test you're trying to avoid. Go on, get the whole damn lot of them destroyed. I'll tell you, Walshaw, just so we can proceed, that the language is Latin, that I once learned to read.
Go on, sir.
Go on, sir. Let's see you have a go.
Well, there are some Latin words that all of you should know. And that's the motto of your city, which is pro, reggae, et lege. for king and law. Now, how many have never heard those Latin words before? Pro. Reggae. Et. Lege. Pro. Reggae. Et. Lege. My proper Herod gear is something of a mystery and not at all too clear, but I might as well let rip and rant, seeing as I'm here. Liquefy all lousy lads and have their liquids poured, drop by nauseating drop down Norway's deepest fjord, which is where? Sir! Or weathered and eroded and denuded down to bone, and powder the remainder and dissolve it in the Rhone, which is where? Sir! The Rhone's good for drowning, but maybe all you need's to tip a lorry load of toddlers in the River Aire at Leeds. Far or near or far, there's all the water that you'll need, whether Lake Tanganyika or the rivers Tyne or Tweed, which are where? Sir! Every mam's sweet darling, every daddy's little pride, world in person processors and irrewaddified, every nipper Mississippified and splurted down a sewer, the vulgar's volume growing as the solid kids get fewer. Where's the vulgar? All the infants that you find 2 years old or younger, drag 'em up and drop 'em down K2 or Kanchenjunga. Which is higher? Hands up those who know? I think my little death squad all revved up to go. Drown them in any water but the Okhotsk Sea. Why? Because there's no damn rhyme for it. You go ahead and try. All the hidden babies each ferreted out, lad. Chain them all together and chuck them in Lake Chad. What's its area?
I'm a Herod in my proper Herod gear.
I also am a Herod just as good as these two here.
Off we go then, Herod.
After you then, dear.
Bonus.
Duo.
Tres.
I'll get that rabble-rouser, Jesus, jelly babyfied by Jiminy.
Destroy babies born between year dot and 2, Anno Domini.
Teeny weenies under 2, all tot still at their mother's tits.
Cherished chubby little cherubs choke and chop to little bits.
Bazooka all bambinos that are newly born in Bethlehem.
If you have to murder millions, then go ahead and murder them.
Millions of bloody babes I'll butcher and I'll barbecue.
Boil the buggers down to bones and bubbly barley sugar goo.
Yet Herod's kingly go-ahead to gun the kindergartens down.
Massacring all mannequins from China up to Chapeltown.
Annihilate each nursery, carnagizing cribs.
Pour petrol into diapers and benzene over bibs.
Napalm nippers still in nappies, New York to Northumberland.
Sling the swaddle sucklings into never-ending slumberland.
No dummies and teats with diphtheria bacteria.
And when the children all get killed, King Herod will be cheerier!
Forward one and tell me the once infested spots you've made entirely free from me of toddlers and tots.
Hiroshima, Hanoi, Hamburg.
And how many?
Hundreds and hundreds.
The title I hereby award to thee is Grandchild Eliminator GCE. Step forward 8 and tell me the once infested spots you've made entirely free from me of toddlers and tots?
Hong Kong, Hungary, Holland, Hawaii, Houston, Harlem, Honduras, Haiti, Hyderabad, Helsinki, and the whole of the Hague.
Heidelberg, Hanover, Hilton,
Hove, Hastings, Havant,
Happening, Hearts, Hello,
Hebrides, Haddington, Hamilton, Holyhead, Harlech, and Halewood,
Holborn, Hilling and High
Hampstead, Hatfield, Harwich,
Street, Hamlin, Hello,
Humberside, Harrogate, Hayward, Headingley, Horsenden, Holbeck, Hildwyke, Helmsley, Hacksby, Halifax, Hosley, and Hull.
And how many?
Thousands and thousands.
The title I hereby award to thee is Grandchild Eliminator GCE.
It's horrible, sir. I'm sick of all this horror.
30,000 lines on my first thing tomorrow. Now, 12, tell me the once infested spots you made entirely free from me of toddlers and tots.
None. It's Christmas, sir. Women shouldn't weep, and the lion shouldn't lurk to kill the little sheep. We run about killing, and we're all that out of breath. Can't we have an holiday from all this blood and death?
It's holiday!
There are no holidays when someone doesn't die.
Holiday.
Now stop it, you little bugger, or you'll make me cry. Holiday! 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 Holiday!
Hey! Who said you could go away?
You drop your H's, so you'll have to stay behind and howl while the rest break up for holiday. Howl!
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 I know that to you kings, the owl's a bird of prey, but to me, it means wisdom, at least for today. Owl, owl, owl. The owls are for wisdom, not for pain. The owl is for wisdom, not for pain. And being evil must be such a strain. And I tell you by that flashing star, and I tell you by that flashing star, you're going to follow near and far. You're no longer Herods, now you are Ulysses Joe Trez. Ulysses Joe Trez. The Rex that men of peace are all pro isn't an Herod.
No, no, no.
Where the fleece is the king of pieces, and that's where you all must go. 1, 2, 3, I'll stand in a line. Let's check you over. You'll do fine with your crowns on, wise men's gowns on, go follow that big H sign.
Shining white and blue, H for hope depends on you. From tomorrow, H for honor, stand with their hellish crew.
4 are Roger, 2 are Johnny, 3 are Frank, 4 are Malcolm, 5 are David, 6 are Jason, 7 are Ronnie, 8 are Michael, 9 are Peter, 10 are Tony, 11 are Mark, 12 are Harry. The town hall lions come to life as midnight chimes on Christmas Eve, and they look for the joiner Joe and his wife, and you'll see them walking if you'll only believe. The lions that stirred when the first struck a strolled down the hedgerow to take a look at the baby of Mary and the joiner Joe. And the cops have problems with the traffic flow, as lots of folk come to Leeds to see the North's most noted nativity.
and the lions lay down with the lamb. They lick the hands of his dad and mam, and the lions lay down with the lamb. And they lovingly lick the lad in his pram, and the lions lay down with the lamb. And the lions lay down in Leeds with the lamb, and the lions lay down with the lamb. And the roaring lions pipe down to a purr, and there's a midnight feeling over the earth, and a sense of somebody special's birth, and a sense of somebody special who's worth gold. Frankincense and myrrh. To be a teacher